Technology should be seen as the hub of our workforce. James Slater from Habitz explains more. So James, welcome to Habitz.
Hi Lauren, good to be here.
We're really excited to have you on because I found this subject fascinating. So you're an expert in making the most of your design and technology in your workspace.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so my business and myself, we help businesses all across the country create what we like to call intelligent workspaces. And we do that with a simple principle of connecting people, technology and environment. And that's how we go about our business, really.
So where do people tend to go wrong when it comes to, picking the right technology for the workspace? What bad habits do people pick up normally?
So generally, workspaces historically don't work for people, and they cram desks into areas and then they think that it works, and it's not conducive to the best sort of levels of productivity. Lots of businesses have poor technology, so the current situation has probably highlighted that to people in terms of the ability to just pick up and go and work from anywhere. And the other sort of bad habit is that there's a disconnect between the people in organisations, the technology, and the environment in which they're working in. So effectively, historically, work has been a place that you went to, when in fact it should be a place, it should be a thing that we do, and we should be able to work from anywhere, and we should have the same benefits from working in the office, working at home, working in the car, working on the beach. We should be able to pick up and work from wherever we feel that we need to, and that to us is what we see as being an intelligent workspace.
It's really important to remember that. And I think as well, technology, it makes life easier, doesn't it? I think that's where people tend to go wrong. It's kind of like by not investing in the right technology, the right workspace, that they're making the work sometimes 10 times harder, aren't they?
Oh yeah, 100%. Through our experience, what we're seeing in terms of the design aspect of people creating workspaces is that they spend lots of time and effort and money on making their workspace look really nice. But then what we tend to find is that they go and put a rubbish old phone system back on top of the desk, or the computers don't work, or the Wi-Fi is really bad. And then that sort of tends to disconnect the people from the workspace, because they've still got the same frustrations of not being able to work properly, come in the morning and everything works straight away. So that is a real issue. And so what we try to do is we look at it as more of a circular approach in terms of what the workplace is, and every workplace has those elements of people, technology, and then the built environment round about them.
So what's another bad habit then, James, that people have when they pick technology for the workspace?
So bad habits are, another bad habit generally, people, they put no thought into the design of the workplace and how that actually benefits people. So things like, are people positioned in the right place? So, do we have instances where people are shouting over the top of people to communicate? Then we tend to put people in silos. So you'll have accounts in one section, you'll have technical guys in another, sales in another department, and is that the right way to put people? Ultimately, or historically, what we've seen is that you've got rows and rows of desks. Where do people get the opportunity to break out and for those silos to come together and work together? So, we tend to put people into silos. We like to call them departments, but effectively what we do is we segregate them from each other.
Yeah,
and then we tend to find that issues arising around that because one department doesn't talk to the other, and then we don't become as productive as what we could be if we worked a bit closer together.
So what's your final bad habit then, James, that you've picked up along with your experience? What do you think people tend to go wrong with?
Ultimately, it's people. The people are forgotten about in this whole sort of workplace environment. We tend to forget about people. So, for example, we were just involved in a project recently, and the people who are going to be occupying this space at the end of the day were not consulted in terms of how, or the customer had forgot to consult them in terms of what they wanted. So, through working with ourselves, we showed them that, in order to get the best design and the best outcome is that we need to involve your people from day one. So everybody has different ideas of what they want in the workplace, and, some great ideas, pinball machines and, Coke machines and all the things that they would like to see. But what you tend to find is that when you engage with those people on day one is that there's a commonality between the things that they want. If you've got 100 people, you might have 100 different wishes, but what you will have is 100 similar wishes as well. And that's the things that you need to focus on.
So that's like flipping it round to a good habit. People are, that's what you need. Like it's going back to the thing, nobody knows your team better than you. You're all working together, so you've got to make a space that works for everyone.
Yeah. Ultimately, and everybody has their own idea what they want that space to be. So if we deal with one contact point in a business, then if we're not asking those questions of, is this what you're wanting, or is it what the business requires, or is it what the wider business wants? Generally, what you'll find is what that person wants, and that person's tastes are not always what everybody else wants or what everybody else needs. It's not always about wants; it's about needs, and there's always a business element involved in that and what's best for the business. But what we tend to find is when we get it right and we create really intelligent spaces, is that we see productivity being increased. We see people wanting to be in that workspace more often than not wanting to be there. And then when we bundle in that technology aspect, and for the current situation being, and key in everybody's mind, if that time comes where they can't work in that brilliant space that you've created, you've given them all the tools to work in the same manner and be as productive from anywhere that they determine.
And they're excited to go into work then, aren't they? Because it's like, I can't wait to go into the office today. Like we could do it's exciting going into a new space.
No, exactly. This thing of we know the workplace as being, it's a place where you go, isn't it? And you sit down, you've got your desk, you've got your space, and you tend to live in it and occupy it, and that's yours. But what we tend to find is when we put things in like a breakout space, I do say if you think about it at home, everybody's got a living room and everybody's got a kitchen. Now, if you invite all your friends round on a Friday night, I could probably guarantee that the place where they congregate is in the kitchen.
It was just literally beat you to it.
And you have the kitchen party, and it's the exact same in a workplace. You'll tend to find that the place where most people congregate and talk, and where they speak in a different manner, but they're still working, is probably the kitchen. Or it's the place where they stand and having a cup of coffee. So instead of it being the kitchen and being a singular space, why don't we create these spaces round about the office? So, create a mini living room, put some pods where people can have impromptu meetings. They don't need to book meeting rooms out. They can just sit down, and you tend to see lots more happening in lots more locations around the business. We're sort of programmed, if you like, to come into work in the morning and sit at your desk, batter on, log onto your computer, do your work, and then go home. And we don't interact maybe as well as we can, or as we should. It's we're seeing a real shift in the way that the workplace is being built, and we're hopeful that we've got the right sort of mindset to connect people, technology, and environment, and create the best workspaces that we can.
100%. And you've got to, turn it to a positive as well. And with the circumstances, you've got to make more space and be more accommodating. So what's another good habit, James, you've picked up along the way?
Another good habit, obviously, technology is key. Technology is key to this. If your technology doesn't go beyond the four walls of your office, if it doesn't reach beyond there, then you are forcing yourself into a position where people need to be in the office. So it's looking at things like, are you leveraging technology in the best way? Are your systems in the right place? Have you really thought about, how your business processes its day-to-day transactions as a business? Is it paper-based? Do we need to be looking towards things like the cloud? One of the biggest issues that we had right at the start of lockdown was people's telephone systems, and the ability that they couldn't work from home. They were forced, in some cases, to have somebody in the office just to answer the phones. And that's because, we get stuck, listen, I've had it for 10 years, I don't need to worry about it, it works, so why would I change it? And it's really about, I think, technology is not a commodity anymore. It's a utility, and it's something everybody's got, and they need to really think about it. They need to think about it. Is it working now? Is it going to work in the future? How is it going to work and operate? Should we need to vacate these premises quickly and put people back in the house? And
it should be something we should embrace, isn't it? Because so many people ignore it and don't think, I don't need to invest in that, I don't need it. But if you don't embrace it, you're going to be left behind then.
Oh, 100%. It's that whole adage of, if it's broken, don't fix it. But just because it's not broken doesn't mean to say it's working. Something can work and not be efficient. And again, we have technology specialists and consultants, and we have a more consultative approach to business, if you like. We're not here to sell people products. It's about looking at your business as a whole and how can we take everything that you do and just make it more efficient, and build these efficiencies in. And we've been doing it for quite a considerable amount of years, and we've enjoyed some success over that time. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes we get it wrong. We're not going to kid on that we get it right all the time. But ultimately, technology, and it's in this our sort of strapline is connecting people, technology, environment. Technology, it always starts with people, and it always ends with the environment. But technology is right in the middle because it basically is the hub for all these other spokes. If it's not there, everything else falls down. So technology for us, and making technology part of your business plan. Don't look at it as on a break fix scenario. As it's broken, then I'll look at it. Really think about technology and have a strategy that is more than just this is what I need, and I'm going to go and get it off the shelf. It's really have a look at it and build it into your business plan. So,
would you say that's your final goods habit then, having a strategy with your technology? Would you say that's your final big point?
No, definitely. We work with lots of businesses, and the first thing we do, and some people take it on, some people not so much, is we ask them, it's quite simply, what's your plans for the next 3, 5, 10 years in terms of business growth? Are you going to grow your business? Are you looking to keep it the same? Because then that allows us then to build a strategy around about technology and look at things that we know that will scale along with our business. There's no point in us putting a product or a service or a solution in place that in 18 months is not going to be able to scale up or scale down, in different businesses. So yes, strategy, technology should be key to anybody's business strategy. We all go, looking for funding and staff, and but the technology is the thing that binds it all together ultimately. And we're in a sort of world now, and the recent situation has probably brought that to the forefront, is that we can still present a really successful business sitting in your living room.
So where can people find more about Habitz then, James? Where can people find more about accessing your services?
Yeah, so we've got our website, obviously, it's cubity.co.uk. We're on all the usual social media channels, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We like to try and keep active on them. Again, you can call us, I don't know, can we give the phone number? It's a shameless plug, but we're in Dumfries, southwest Scotland, so our number's 01387 442 919, and there's a range of guys here with different specialities that will that we're more than happy to have a conversation with people. And that's where we are.
Yeah, you're the hub of technology, literally.
Well, we like to think so. We don't have all the answers, but what we do is we have a great network of people and partnerships, really great partnerships, everything from sort of local businesses all the way up to international organisations like Siemens and Enlighted and Microsoft and all these people. And we lean on them. We quite open to the fact that we might not have the answer, but we'll certainly find it for you. And that's ultimately who we are and what we do.
Thanks to James for coming on and explaining to me how you can implement technology into your business. Okay.